Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alana here. 3 Degrees of Love Divination. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoy my content. And if you do, please, by all means, like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think of what you see here that I have to offer? What do you think of my content? If there's something you'd like to see more of, please, by all means, share with me. Anyways, so as you know, it is the month of love, and this is 3 Degrees of Love Divination, and we are celebrating Black History Month. I have 2 more decks here that I wanted to showcase and maybe do a reading with. So yeah, so the first one we have is the Black Tarot. This is by Nyasha Williams, an Ancestral Awakening deck and guidebook. This is by RP Studios, and it's illustrated by CMHA Nayadu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, so the next deck we have is the African Goddess Rising Oracle, and this is by Abola Abrams. This is produced by Hay House. Yeah, so alright, so let me just take it out of the packaging and we'll get right into it, okay?
No matter what people want you to believe, don't ever turn back on your dreams. It's all in your hands, a change is near. Close your eyes, listen, the sound is...
Okay guys, so here's the Oracle deck. The African Goddess Rising Oracle. And again, this is by Abola Abrams. And then next we have the Black Tarot, and this is by Nyasha Williams. This is published by Hay House, and this one is published by Running Press, also known as RP Studios. Yes. Alrighty, so let me just, you know what, I'll take a quick flip through and then I will shuffle the cards and we'll get right into the reading. So. So of course this deck is all about African culture and heritage, and going through you know, the various idols and deities. Of course, that was just a a fast flip through. And of course, if you want me to ever dive deeper into any of them, by all means, leave me a comment, and I can. And of course, this is the tarot deck. I like the subtlety of the artwork, and I think you'll even, one is glossy and the other one's matte. Of course, the Oracle is the glossy one. This is more of a matte texture, so I know some people probably, in the tarot world probably may not like that combo, but for the most part, it doesn't really bother me. Of course, I am a very matchy, cutesy kind of girl, kind of, I am OCD and everything, but sometimes it's more so about the theme and the or the the sort of the genre, if you will, more than the actual textile aesthetic, if you will. So yeah. The artwork is very simplistic. I like that. And you'll notice that the people in the artwork don't actually have faces. And that's obviously intended. I'm making my own logical assumptions, of course, because I don't really know, but I want to assume that is so that you can see yourself in these images as you are diving into it. So there's the saying that no, all black people don't look alike. So yeah, so it's good to have and be able to assert your own family into these images. But yes, anyways, all right. Okay, so let me just shuffle these cards and see what the messages have today. Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for this day. Help me to see clearly the messages I need to see today, Father God. Help me to receive it openly, lovingly, and with the highest integrity so that I may relay it to others for the greater good of all. In Jesus' name I pray. I'm just shuffling it a little bit more because usually when I use my cards and I rotate them, part of me when I go to put them away after a session or however long I'm working with the cards, I like to put them back in order. Before actually putting them away. So okay, so we have Queen Nefertiti or Nefertiti, alchemy. We have Sutura, brazen. And we have Medusa, rage. Okay, I'm gonna read from the guidebook before I say anything about what I'm feeling. Okay. 38. Queen Nefertiti or Nefertiti, alchemy. 38. Queen Nefertiti, goddess of alchemy, Egypt. Temple, queens, element, fire. Nefertiti was a legendary Egyptian queen whose name means a beauty has come. Celebrated as a goddess and her husband's equal, Queen Nefertiti led a spiritual revolution worshipping Aten, the sun god. Queen Nefertiti's guidance. It is time. You turn everything that life throws your way into gold. You are on the path to fulfilling your purpose. Embodiment. You are an alchemist. You have the power to bend universal energy. Dare to transmute lead into gold by shifting from fear to love. Everything you desire exists in some form of loving energy. Match this frequency. See it in your mind's eye. First, imagine it. I am loved fully. What does it look, taste, and smell like to be loved unconditionally? I am happy and healthy. See it. I am a money magnet. What does it feel like? Goddess declaration. Everything I touch turns to gold. Satara brazen. 17. Satara, goddess of brazenness. Guyana, temple warriors. Element, fire. Goddess Satara is the energy and spirit of Buxton in Guyana, South America. Satara is brave, bold, brazen, and barefaced, casting a spell with her hips. Satara's guidance. Step up, go for it. Partner with the divine to make brazen choices and everything meant to diminish you will elevate you. All who mean you harm fall away. Your hurdles are illusions because you are plugged into source. Embodiment. Make the brazen decision. What would you dare to do if you knew you couldn't fail? It is brazen to be unapologetically you. It is brazen to speak up for someone not in the room. It is brazen to choose a different spiritual path or career than your community. It is brazen to build your family your way. God/goddess force energy is brazen. Goddess declaration. I am bold, brave, shameless, and brazen. 23. Medusa rage. Medusa. Shadow of rage. Libya. Temple shadows. Element fire. Medusa is feared as an ugly, vicious monster bitch. The truth? This Libyan Berber dark goddess of wisdom's rage is sacred, epic, and fully justified. Medusa's shadow guidance. You're pissed off and petrified, angry and shaken, but underneath that you are hurt. And heartbroken. Feeling undervalued is overwhelming. You can't stay silent anymore. Let your joys, hopes, and beauty rage on. Embodiment. Take a breath. Close your eyes and put both hands over your lower abdomen. Tune into the part of you that feels out of control. Flood it with loving, healing, golden light. Now put both hands over your heart and do the same. You have a right to your full range of emotions, including anger. Sacred rage inspires us to run for office, lead protests, and shift policies. But unhealthy rage can devour your very soul. Get clear on what is really happening. Allow yourself to feel your feelings, to see the truth. Just because you feel threatened doesn't mean you are being threatened. Let me read that again. Get clear on what is really happening. Allow yourself to feel your feelings, to see the truth. Just because you feel threatened does not mean you are being threatened. Goddess declaration, I have a right to feel my feelings. Okay. Let's clarify. Let me clarify. Okay. 38. Alchemy. We're in 2023 right now. The pandemic began in 2020. Two years of disconnect, forced. disconnect. And that's both gone both ways. Both by choice and both not by choice. Right? We were the world was forced to shut down, legally speaking, politically speaking. Everybody had to go into isolation because of a virus. Forced hermit mode. And that broke down a lot of lives, both mentally and physically, and the strain of both. But the losses we have had in the last several years is our fault. The economy, everything is people's, as intelligent as we are, humankind is still okay. Ignorance is really a thing, and it goes back for generations. Okay. There is a reason why February, duality, the second month as we've made it to be, okay, of the year, there's a reason why there's a reason why both Black History Month and the Day of Love is celebrated together. It's not a coincidence. Do your own research. You know, if you remember in a past reading, I talked about I talked about, the infinity symbol 8, right? And the link with DNA, right? Now, here comes the Catholic, I can never pronounce that damn word. My Catholic faith. I will put the word up on the screen because it can never roll off the tongue properly ever. But I know the word in my head. Anyways, if I get to say it, I'll say it. But again, the history of Saint Valentine, right? And what he represented, right? There's the one side of people who believe in reincarnation, and then there's the one that doesn't. But people seem to forget it's all the same. You know, I remember I just watched, not that long ago, there was a documentary that came on and talked about they're finding new evidence today, or well, maybe not today, but like, more recently, in those that are currently still alive right now, probably somewhere in that generation, you guys would know. But there is the oh my gosh. Why am I suddenly just drawing a blank? My mind is all over the place. That's why. Focus, focus, focus. Anyways, right. So the first humans essentially originate in Africa. I think you can understand why alchemy just and raid and I think you can get it now. Okay. Now, okay. Now, taking into account everything I'm saying, as well as the guidebooks, correct? Piece it all together for yourself, using your imagination, the gift of free will, the understanding of what love is, right? The tools are there. You can see it, right? I gave you the scripture of love. When you meditate, I talk about shadow work. I'm talking about, when I talk about boundaries and reading the 5 love languages and things like that, understanding the true definition of what love is. When you go deep into yourself, you will find the truth. We are the reason the world is as disconnected and trashy as it is right now. Why the imbalance of humanity is so... I talked about the economy, why the world's resources, the majority of the world's resources is being held by the very few living people for generations. Why? Hello? Over time, what do you think that karmic cycle, that repetitive behavior has created? That's why we're so divided. Everything is connected. You want evidence of that? You want evidence of the the rage, the alchemy, the natural rage that's going on right now, that the crisis, the strain, why we have, mental health is through the roof, and why people are robbing people in broad daylight for stuff. When you hang on to that control of the world's resources, what do you think you're causing? Chaos. What does that chaos now? Anybody who knows trauma, who understands psychology, who understands mental health, understands the cycle of the same thing. The breakdown. The body, the mind, the whole being can only take so much. And those who walk the opposite, who walk the instinctual way, and who have done that through life and haven't allowed the world's negativity to shut them off from who they are, those true beings of light, suddenly dropping like flies because they can't take it. They can't take it anymore. And they don't, because it's like, think of what would be a good, okay, if you've ever seen, and if you're not sure what I'm talking about, if you've ever seen the Disney movie Inside Out, and there's the scene where now sadness because she couldn't control herself, started causing so much destruction to this girl that her body started shutting down. And when they show what that looks like, you see happy and sadness, trying to, chase each other. Well, happy is trying to chase after sadness, so, to stop the destruction that sadness is causing, because she just can't stop touching all of the memories and thoughts and whatever. So happy is having to chase after sadness to try and make up for it. Meanwhile, as they're trying to get back to headquarters, which is essentially the brain, the different parts of themselves are breaking down, and the destruction is the lights. You see the lights of, and the different elements, I guess, of, the core memories now suddenly breaking down. And it's like and you just see the lights go out. Anyways, look it up. Please look it up. I will put it on the screen. I should have just said that. And it is. Yes, I can go out into outer space and back again. Yes, and it's already 36 minutes. Okay. Anyhow, going within, correcting within, going into the shadows and fixing, what is wrong. Right. Okay. So that's, yes. Now, being bold and being brazen does not mean if you're gonna burn like a light bulb. Think of a light bulb that illuminates. It's giving. It's not the kind of like forest fires that only just come in raging and causing destruction. No. Right? Black people have a right to feel pain. Because of the way they've been treated. We've been treated. The sad part is to think that those who aren't have a right to say what we are choosing to do, which is to educate and highlight and stand up to be supportive of one another. However, and this is where I come back to when I talk about the idea of it's not the practice, it's the intent. You have a right to be who you are. But if you're being who you are, or you're trying to hold weight that because you have a right to be who you are, and because of what you've been through, that you can do whatever you want to against someone else and it's okay. No, absolutely not. Because there again, the law of karma, the law of balance and alchemy and love and natural flow of things. When we try to control outwardly what we naturally aren't supposed to and cannot control, we go against the law of ebb and flow, and that's karma. So if you continue to go against that understanding because you don't see yourself as equal to those around you, what you do naturally will come back to you in some other way, shape, or form. Because that is the law of DNA and all that we are and all that's in our world. Our very existence. And that's not just, yes, I am speaking because I am using a deck that is African descent. I am of such. We all are. Don't matter your skin tone. It's funny because I always used to think, I remember as a child, I used to wonder, like, so is it true what they're saying in church, or is it true what they're teaching us in school? Or is it actually both? But then if it's both, then how is it both? And I used to always try to picture that. And I could never quite seem to put the pieces together. But anyway, do pay attention to the messages. Listen carefully. Close your eyes. Here's another movie you should watch that recently came out that I feel goes with, will teach you, essentially, help you with a little bit more understanding. You People stars Eddie Murphy. It's on Netflix. It stars Eddie Murphy. Oh my God, what is his name? I will put his name. I put him on the screen. I will put a link in the description box of, of course, for everything that I'm saying. Right? Anyways. Yeah, so yeah, You People, you want to understand chakras relatively from a child's perspective, watch Trolls, both of them. Yes, especially the second one. Because then the first one really teaches you about yourself, and then the second one teaches you now about other selves in the world. Yes. Go watch that. Inside Out, Soul. Yeah, these are all Disney movies. Yes, there are messages there. Anyway, so, You People is not a Disney movie. That is, I'm not saying that it could be published by Disney. I'm not sure. I'm just speaking, please don't 100% quote me on things, do your own research and, verify, please. What I can recall, I will put in the description box like I'm saying. But yeah, that is, okay. What's Disney? I'll tell you in the description. You'll figure it out because I'll have the links there, okay? To understand again, sort of alchemy and reincarnation and soulmates and twin flames and that whole kind of sort of idea. And Akashic records, things like that. And how I again, when I was saying it's all like all connected and stuff like that. Another good movie to sort of give you an idea, to explain it to you, sort of thing, is and like Free Spirituality Manifest. That was a show that was on regular cable TV. I forget what it was in Canada, and I couldn't tell you in US, but then it was one of those shows that just got canceled off regular cable, but Netflix picked it up. Really, really good. That would be a movie to show to series, sorry, to watch. Funny, I'm looking at the Black Tarot right now, the box, as I'm talking, and it reminds me of the color purple. So you want to understand a little bit more of you know, Black history, and when we talk about ancestral trauma and karmic cycles and things like that, that would be the color purple. Yeah. Anyways, oh yeah, I was talking about reincarnation, okay? So we're talking about Saint Valentine, okay? Now, did you know, so the, with the Book of Psalms, the Book of Psalms is known as songs and poetry of David, actually. And so there's a connection there with David and alchemy, love, right? The true essence of love and the embodiment, and you know, whatever, and you could translate that to today's 3D if you want, or what, you know, whatever. But where was I going? Oh yes, so I was talking about Saint Valentine and the, you know, history, and we're talking about Catholicism. That's the word. Yeah, there we go. And yes, and stuff like that, and you know, reincarnation and all of that. So people seem to forget that, you know, Valentine's Day, you know, it's become very commercialized, and it's all about the money and blah, 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 and everybody gets a kick out of, you know, making things all about love, right? But people seem to forget about what it actually means. We've lost the true essence of that meaning a long time ago, and there's different levels to what it means, right? So, you know, and this is why, you know, the understanding of ego and the self-entitlement and the outward need for control, because we cannot control, right? Like OCD, that's exactly, you know, that's a mental breakdown response to you know, to the breakdown of what's happening around us, right? You know, we talk about PTSD and people getting, you know, and all these mental health issues that people have, right? It's the breakdown, it's the coping mechanism, right? And yes, you know, we end up having to, you know, like, you know, there's a drug for everything, you know, to control, right? Man, oh man, I can go down a rabbit hole. What? Okay. When we go against the what is the natural will? Of things, it breaks us down. Right? Okay. The imbalance of the world's resources for status, for control, for the ego. No, because all that does is create chaos, and then more It's time this ends. This divide ends in every aspect of life. Spirituality, everything. We have to untrain what we've been taught. We have to go within, meditate, feel. No one religion, no one person, no one race, no one is better than the other. We are all the same. We should all be able to see each other as the same. Give each other in balance. Money is not new. Didn't come with at the start of time. We've been here longer than money has ever existed. How in the world okay, I think you get my point. And if you don't, and you have anything that you question, that you're not sure of, before you reject, verify. Do your own research. See it from your own perspective. I guarantee you that if you really do some thinking and some soul searching and meditating on memories and what you've been taught as a child, you'll see the indifferences. You'll see the what? And within that, in that darkness, you will be able to see your own toxic ways that have karmically affected us all for way too long. That is how we bring true healing to one another. We have to love ourselves enough to understand that in order for us to get what we rightly and justly deserve, we must all be willing to give. Have that intent. Because that is what love is. That is the infinity. That is the cycle of life. What we do unto others will return unto us. That is the law of karma. So when you go up and you spute things and you say things and someone tells you it hurts or that you may be incorrect, but you refuse and hold right to your self-entitlement, that's ego. When you decide to hide behind law that is meant to empower people, and you want to run and hide behind that to say freedom of speech, but you're spewing hate, that's not love. And you don't deserve, because what you do will come back to you. We all have to search within ourselves to see the error of all of humanity. It's as we take control and correct the mistakes, not just of in our lifetime, but lovingly change what has been the will within our past timelines, historically. That is how we break the karmic ties and curses and whatever else you want to call it, evil. That's how you fight evil. Love wins again and again, like it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 to verse 8. You don't believe me? Open a Bible and look it up. Any Bible. But the one that I usually reference is the NIV, which is the New International Version. But there are several different versions of the Bible, and over time with translation, the wording does, is slightly different, and certain words are used differently, whatever. But it's still all the same message. Yeah? I hope you're with me. And if you are lovingly understanding what I'm saying, then I would genuinely appreciate you telling me that by sharing and subscribing, by commenting down below your thoughts. Do you agree? Have you looked into some of the things that I talked about, throughout some of these mediums that, that I'm sharing with you? Because like I said, I'm not going to speak on anything if I haven't done the research myself. I talk about love and, and of course I keep going down different rabbit holes and things like that. But, when I talk about, Saint Valentine, and I talk about, anyway, and if you read the history, you go online and I'll pull up the resource for you so you can look it up. But the history on Saint Valentine, And of course, him being a martyr and how he was, then, turned into a saint and, and whatever. And now it's, this commercialized holiday, now today, but there's a true meaning, and what, why, historically, why Saint Valentine, what he did, what he truly represents. And under that time, it's funny, under that time, I think around that time, he died at the hands of, I think in power was King David. Something like that. Don't quite quote me on that. Like I said, I'll put it in, I'm just going off memory, but I will definitely put it in the thing, in the description. And also remembering, because in 2015 I went on a European trip, and one of the stops was Rome, and I went into the Vatican, and there's the statue of David, and the understanding now why there's a statue, naked statue, and then of David, and vulnerability, that representation, because the statue is naked, right? He's just all his glory. And then, now there's, right. So Psalms, the book of Psalms is also apparently known, as the prayers, the songs, the diary of David, right? And it's all of them. So in there you have, the Lord is my shepherd. That's one of them. There's what's the right here. Amazing Grace apparently is actually a poem that is sort of created from the workings of so it's poetry turned into a song, and it's actually compilated from scriptures of the book of Psalms. Yes, that's the story behind it, which again is known as writings of David. Right? And representation of the David statue, and and understanding the vulnerability, love, right? That's the, be ourselves, be brazen, show our true selves, right? Because that's naturally what who we are. We all are one. That's love. We equally. So we have to, for what we want, for the betterment of our legacy and for all of humanity, we have to see ourselves as equals and treat each other as such, because that is what each of us is deserving of. Anything that goes against this and against that, anything that tips on the side of trying to control another in that act that goes against the natural law of alchemy, causes destruction. Divided, we all fall, like I said before, but united is how we grow and evolve. That's the other thing I was going to say about David. So the story of David now, as we go back in another part of the Bible, is the story of David and Goliath, and the representation of that story. Is it really a story? Or are these actually quoted facts of historical events? And that's And it gets twisted culturally. Things change. It gets sprinkled a little, translated a little bit differently, but it's all the same. Remember, I think I talk about religion being, you know, the first practice of a known religion is Hinduism. It's not the practice, it's the intent. There's no one better than the other. When you embrace it all, you've unlocked a new level of understanding of everything and all that there is. And every existence. So, be vulnerable. But in order to do that, you have to go first within. And do the work. In all aspects of life. Not just one, not just two. No. Right? In the present moment that we are our past. The choices we make in the present moment by the law of karma determines what we become in the future. Are you going to stay on the same timeline and continue to walk the same karmic evil cycles of your historical past? Or are you going to go within, anchored with love for yourself and others? Because we are each other. It's Black History Month, and another person who I want to, that just came to mind to understand, the true essence of who we are and where we come from. One of my inspiring people that that inspires me, too, is the very well-known Trevor Noah, who just stepped away from The Daily Show. And he, again, this just sort of goes back to what I talk about, this is all wrapped up into the same thing, shadow work and everything. His stand-up that I'm about to reference for you to watch is actually his stand-up called Afraid of the Dark. Yes. You can learn a lot from him. Okay, so that's that. Okay. I didn't even pull another. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
matter what people want you.